let it slide.
Nah, I done did a lot just to get by, so I can't let it slide. I escaped the mental shackles, I ain't got patience for these bastards.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. Hit the like button for me, please. We're going to talk about Raw, even though I don't really have much to say. The show was stupid as usual, but this felt even dumber than most Raws. The bell rang to start a match 10 times on Raw. And matches ended by count out of disqualification 4 of those times. I know I usually rip on nerds who have gimmicks like that, where they count the disqualifications and the countouts. But this show had, 2 or 3 impromptu matches, 4 disqualifications, 2 impromptu matches. 4 countouts or disqualifications and 2 impromptu matches. This show was dreadful, and the work rate was fine. It's just, okay, we've seen Asuka wrestle Rhea Ripley before. We've seen them wrestle already. We've seen within the last month Charlotte wrestle Nikki Cross already. We haven't seen Jeff Hardy and John Morrison recently, but we did see Jeff Hardy versus Cedric Alexander. We already saw Elias and Jackson Riker, and all those were recent. McIntyre and Styles was a fresh match that they threw out. And then they did a 6-man tag, which is an even fresher match. But it made no sense because they had already went through, 5 or 6 minutes of Styles and McIntyre before they threw it out and started a new match. It's nonsense. Raw is just absolute garbage. It's just a garbage show. And so I have no enthusiasm to even talk about it, really, because there's not much to talk about. Then nothing really happened. Other than, Eva Marie, but I'm going to talk about that in a different video. And the only one other thing that took place that's worth talking about, and that is RK Bro versus The New Day. I enjoyed this match. The match ruled, They gave him some time. They put some emphasis on it. It was wonderful back and forth. There was some cool looking moves. There's some good story as far as RK Bro working together and Riddle kind of being sort of schizophrenic, where he's kind of trying to be himself, but he's also still kind of trying to be like Randy and trying to model himself after Randy. So, that's interesting. So that was interesting, and I like that. Jeff Hardy, I don't know what they're doing with Jeff. Like, he's feuding with Cedric Alexander. Fine. That could be fine. But I don't see why, if all the fucking disqualifications and all the fucking countouts you have on the show, you have Cedric Alexander just get beat. Out of all the countouts and disqualifications you had on this show, you had Cedric Alexander get pinned. And Lashley. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Why is non-top contenders for the women's division getting treated better than the fucking champion? It's retarded. It's stupid. Well, so that was dumb. I did enjoy the Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, even though, my God, I can't believe Dana Brooke is still there. I cannot believe she's still there, and I can't believe what she's done to herself. In any event, I really got a kick out of their run in with Natalya and Tamina, mainly because everybody was right. Everybody was right. So if you didn't watch the show, what took place was Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose were engaging in a photo shoot, which seemingly what they do every week. And Tamina and Natalya were training in the ring near where their photo shoots were. And they was basically just making a lot of noise. So Mandy Rose went over politely and asked them to, settle it down. Like, please, can you guys settle it down? And Natalya had a bad attitude about this because she says, hey, we're wrestlers and we're training because we're like real athletes. And all you guys do is take pictures. Your priorities are screwed. And then, she even took it to the next level and says that without your looks, you guys wouldn't be here, which is, casting aspersions on her bosses. And since Natalya's titties are bigger than both of theirs, I don't see how, I don't see how that can be, I don't see how that could be true. And so Mandy Rose, who does the talking for her team, basically says that without y'all last names, you wouldn't be here. Which I was like, oh, because it's kind of true. You know, any sensible wrestling promotion would have fired Natalya a long time ago for being boring. And Tamina, she's just, I don't know if she's boring, but she's been around forever and she's finally starting to do something. So these are two babyface teams, but I am very interested in Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke trying to work heel. I think working heel is better for them. You know, they're two models. Why the fuck are they baby faces? Why do we like them? You know, we like them because they're pretty. It's like that's more of a reason to hate them, isn't it? You know, and especially with this audience, the way that people react to certain women who look better than they do. You know, you're probably better off turning Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke heel. To stay on the women's subject, I do want to talk about this when Charlotte got her nose busted. They did this really big scrum after the match between Rhea Ripley and Asuka. They did this big fight scene. You know, it's crazy how the women get a gigantic fight and the men just get McIntyre growling at Lashley as he lays on the ground. Like that's a hell of a way to end the show. You know, it's a hell of a go home show. I mean, I completely forgot it was a go home show at one point. I just thought it was another trash episode of Raw. I'm telling you, dog, it's hard to find motivation sometimes, especially when like nothing is happening. But the fight was cool, you know, because of the accidental blood, and it made Charlotte like she was absolutely insane. That she, you know, was bleeding and wild-eyed, and she really wanted to fight Rhea. And we still don't get a reason why we should like Rhea Ripley. She's still mean to the interviewers, and she's still fighting baby faces. I mean, I just don't see why we're supposed to like her. Just nothing there. We did get some push forward on MVP trying to break up the New Day. Him blaming Xavier Woods for the loss to RK Bro. I enjoyed that segment too. I thought that part was pretty good. So there was very minor things that I kind of liked. The Alexa Bliss stuff I could definitely do without. Her almost dominant performance over Nia Jax is absolutely hilarious. It made no sense. Her hypnotizing Reginald is like, oh. Bro, we are so far in the woods with this. I don't know, man. It's like you was playing catch with a little kid and you threw it too far and now the kid can't find the ball. That's kind of how it is on Raw. Like we started with this, you know, Alexa Bliss got magic powers. It was kind of fun. And now somebody just decided to go Michael Vick and throw the damn ball 100 yards. And it goes plunk right into the goddamn the deep end of the lake. So now the ball is gone. We don't know where it is. You know, Lily's on timeout because, you know, somebody, I guess USA Network and some other people must have complained about the voodoo doll, or maybe it's just part of the storyline. Who the hell knows? Who the hell cares? We like to watch this horrible, you know, situation where Shayna Baszler has to work somebody who's going to do magic. It's the shits. It is the entire shits. The only thing that was fun on this was Eva Marie. I'm going to talk about that in a different video because I don't want to bring everybody down and then build everybody back up with Eva Marie. Let's look at my notes at anything else that I might want to talk about. Nikki Cross went about count out. Who gives a shit? John Morrison winning a match for no reason. It's not going anywhere. But all of the matches where they basically just did impromptu matches. I don't understand impromptu matches. I've been railing against them for a long time. I've been railing against the countouts and the disqualification. Look, countout and disqualification can be a useful tactic, but you can't overuse it. Just like the outside the ring distraction is a useful tactic. You can't overuse it. You know, Lashley sitting at ringside, you know, watching his competition. Useful tactic, but we overusing it. For starters, we literally just did it with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley went ringside to watch Charlotte wrestle Nikki Cross, and then she got involved, and just her music playing distracted her. It's just kind of like they're just doing the same shit over and over and over again. This show couldn't be more stale. It's like when I saw on Twitter a guy had a 15-year-old cheeseburger or something like that. That's kind of what Raw is. This shit is stupid. You know, it's a stupid fucking show. It's just dumb. This is my Raw review. This show is dumb. All right, so let's talk about Eva Marie in another video. I'll talk to you guys later.